Ladies and gentlemen, this episode on Circle Debate, episode 19, we're gonna go ahead and discuss giving our thoughts about All Out this past weekend. Also gonna give our thoughts about the heel turn. Finally, we get the heel turn from Bayley, and also we'll discuss about Benny's back, issues with third-party vendors with other superstars. What's up with that? And also we will discuss who was crowned the new NXT World Champion between Finn Balor and Adam Cole. And also, we'll discuss about Peyton Royce and Billy Kay's new theme song. Okay. Singles action. Dominic's first win. And also, pro wrestling news. Also discussing about the reveal of the G1 Climax, the participants. And we'll discuss that. And also, we'll discuss AEW's Dynamite's main event. So stay tuned as episode 19 starts right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast, episode number 19. This is your host of Previous One Item C, alongside with my brothers from another mothers, which we have the beater of all beaters, the Cordonas of the Cordonas, the Steamboats of all Steamboats, this Kellerman of the Circle Debate Podcast. We have Matthew Steamboat, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Matt?
Not the definition of player hating. Yeah. I finally watched some Max Kellerman forget contracts. The definition of player hating.
There you go. And also we have the hero of all heroes. He is the greatest, the bestest, the greatest American hero with the 12-inch pythons. What you're gonna do when he does the year and when he runs wild on you. And that is the great American hero, Mike Lopez. How are you?
I am great, man. Episode 19. Can you believe it, guys? Jeez Louise. Let's get started.
I cannot believe it myself as well. Wow, 19 episodes in. I want to go ahead and actually thank everyone for our subscribers, our viewers, for tuning in. We appreciate the love and support. We continue on spreading the word of the Circle Debate Podcast. We're not your normal, podcast that you hear. Not bashing on them at all. I give everybody respect. Everybody does their own thing. But, obviously we give our opinions. We are you. We are the fans just like you. So, and we're also going to be writers. So Papa Vinny, call us, and call us Tony Khan. We can help you as well. So let's go ahead and start this off. What a hell of a weekend of pro wrestling, especially on Saturday with AEW All Out. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Mr. Hero, what were your thoughts about the pay-per-view and what did you enjoy the most of it?
I enjoyed it's almost like an unpredictability that happened or that was present in this pay-per-view. Things like injuries and, all sorts of stuff, title changes and everything you would like. Not that I would like injuries on people, but, it was definitely a show to remember. And, if I must say, that scary bump, man, with Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, geez, it's like I can see how and why WWE would have their style and have it be a safe style for their performers. And, us as fans, especially growing up in the Attitude Era and ECW and all that stuff, being extreme, we kind of want more, more extreme stuff happening, but it's people's lives on the line. One move could just spell disaster, really. And the good thing is that that Matt Hardy is doing well. He came out later on in the week and he's doing just fine. Man, and that title change for the tag team titles, I did not see that coming, but once it did happen, I just said, of course, it happened,
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the main event, massive props to both men, and I think that it showed MJF in a different light. It kind of made him look like a main eventer, not just because he was busted open or anything like that, but it was just an intense contest, and that's what I was hoping for. And yeah, awesome, cool pay-per-view all around.
That's right. That's right. Mr. Stevo, what are your thoughts about this?
I must say, like, I was really expecting a full-on changing of the guard. Like, I was expecting like almost all titles to change pretty much, but I was pleasantly surprised with like how they went about it. Forgive me for spoilers, but it's like I could see that they're going with different angles than I thought they were. But like I could see the tag team pictures kind of going how I expected it's going to go, and I'm happy for that. But as for the world title, we'll get to that once we get to that. But overall, I gotta say it was, wasn't bad pay-per-view. Plenty of action, and especially like the pre-show. The pre-show was pretty like underrated. I gotta say a lot of Easter eggs and cookies in there for what we're gonna see down the line, especially for like the women's league. It's a very like I'd say for when it comes to like the women's division, this was probably like one of the better pay-per-views.
Yeah, I agree with that. But in reference for Matt Hardy, though, like, wow. Obviously, we did see a lot of people on Twitter bashing, obviously, AEW's management and obviously their medical, professionals. This match should have been stopped. Obviously, we did see it was stopped for a minute because you see Audrey Edwards, putting the X sign, hey, that's it. But, as Matt was regaining conscious, and I don't know why they continued the match. I think it should have stopped completely. But there was a lot of feedback in reference for that. And even Reby Sky had a lot to say about it on Twitter about it. Like, no, Matt Hardy is this is ridiculous. Management should have taken it differently. I guess, word was around that Hardy was the one that wanted to continue. Tony Khan was the one that actually stopped the match, which he, told Audrey Edwards on the earpiece, like, stop the match, that's it, cut it off. But I guess Matt wanted to continue and put on the show. I think that was a bad move on his side, personally. But your thoughts about maybe hopefully we don't see this in the future, but your thoughts about Matt Hardy continuing, and should have this been stop the match, Mr. Hero?
Tony Khan's the boss in the story, and we say all these things about Vince McMahon and whatnot, but the guy rules with an iron fist. And if you're the president or whatever it is that Tony Khan is at AEW, his word should be the final say. Definitely not one of the wrestlers, because we know these guys are tough. We know these guys can battle with torn ACL and all this and that, things that we've heard about. But yeah, at the end of the day, the boss is the boss, and Matt should have listened to the boss.
Yeah, Mr. Steamboat, the match should have been stopped. What are your thoughts?
It definitely should have been stopped, and at the end of the day, you really don't have to go through all that violence to get a great story across or a great point across or to make it so intriguing. Like safety is no matter what job you're doing is always the number one thing. So it's tell the story with all the other components. That's probably like what draws me to wrestling isn't so much the violence, but like the characters and that whole aspect. So always be safe. I think they wouldn't have lost a whole lot by stopping that match. They could have gone so many different ways because AEW allows the wrestlers to create. So that wouldn't have been that much of a loss.
Absolutely, no, I agree. I'm with you guys 100%. It should have been stopped. Tony Khan should have had the last word, and it should have been stopped. I don't know why Matt continued it, but there's so much stories around it. Is he said, she said type of style. But this should have been kind of stopped in reality in the first place. Once you give the X, that's it. Stop the whole match, because it's really especially if it's a concussion. I mean, you never know. This could have. Thank God, knock on wood, thank God that Matt Hardy's fine. Everything's okay. And obviously, we did see on Dynamite he took some time off, which I'm glad he is. He needs some time off to, rehab himself physically and mentally, make sure because concussions ain't no joke, man. It's no joke at all. So, prayers for you, Matt Hardy, get better and speedy recovery, and we'll see you in the ring soon. Moving on with that. My other intriguing that I want to get you guys' opinion. Now we saw the 21 battle, Casino Royale. We found out the winner, Lance Archer. So now we're gonna see Archer and Moxley too. Obviously, they already announced it. They're gonna be fighting, the 1 year anniversary when AEW came out. So I will ask you, Mr. Steamboat, you think that was a great move for Lance Archer to be the number one contender, and who you think should have won that battle royal? Mr. Steamboat, I'm asking you.
Oh yeah. So
you blanked out for a minute.
Yeah, I know the power of Lance Archer. Is to he just called me up and reminded me that everybody dies. So no, the main thing is I'm really hoping Lance Archer goes over, but since this isn't at the pay-per-view that's happening, I think it's just going to lead up to maybe the most logical point seems like a triple threat match with MJF, Lance Archer, and Moxley would probably be how they go about it. Is what it might be heading to, is because it doesn't seem like the MJF storyline, the MJF versus Moxley storyline is completely done. MJF's still you cheated Moxley and this and that. So there, and Lance is going to come into that picture too. So it'll be kind of interesting seeing maybe MJF and and of course Jake the Snake Roberts kind of cutting promos on each other. That'll be kind of cool to see. So.
Oh, right, yeah, Mr. Hero, your thoughts? Who do you think should have won? Or do you like, or you like Lance Archer winning?
Yeah, I like to go based on rankings and whatnot. I don't know what ranking Lance has, but I like the Casino Battle Royale to be that it opens up the possibilities for someone that's not necessarily ranked number one to be able to get a title shot. And I like that Archer is next. I do not think that MJF is going to continue in the title picture. I think he's going to go off in another direction, maybe even against Wardlow, or maybe start building that separation up. But yeah, it's a good matchup, and I find it interesting that really, from what I've seen in AEW, number one, I don't think there's ever been a triple threat title match yet.
No.
And two, it's kind of rare for title shots to happen, to occur again twice in a row. I haven't really seen a lot of that. Both Moxley and Jericho, whenever they beat their opponent, move on to the next one. And I find it very interesting because in WWE, we've been so used to multiple title shots. Even if they lose, they get another one next month or a couple weeks after that. Right. And that just keeps going and going and going until we don't want to see it anymore. But here, it's you get your shot, and if you don't get it, into the line, So I think it's cool in its own way, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all this develops and the future of the title picture.
I think for me, okay, we've seen Lance Archer already, Moxley. We've seen it in New Japan. We've seen it in AEW once. Great match, by the way, both of them. I think that the best one was in New Japan for the United States Championship. I think that was one of the best ones for me. I feel like it should have been someone else. It should have been maybe an underdog, like an unexpected underdog. It should have been maybe, I'll mention Scorpio Sky. Why not? Give another one that underdog style, have a new opponent. But I get what you're saying, though, too. This is the first time now we're seeing the back-to-back title defense for the first time in AEW for the first time. Now they're, second, again, rematch again against Lance Archer. Interesting as well. But I think it should have been someone else because it gives the title picture more of a perfect storyline. And especially being like a underground, I would put it more like an example of like a Daniel Bryan type of underdog. Like remember when John Cena chatted, okay, I'll give you the shot. What boom, it happened. Something like that. I would say it should have been like an underdog who should have won it. But I'm okay with Lance Archer. You know, I'm okay with that. You never know. We might see a title change. It might just happen on an instant, unexpectedly, and everybody will be like, "What? Oh, what?" You know, our job disrupts. You never know what's gonna happen. So I mean, best of luck, and we'll see, and we'll look forward to that feud, and we'll see how it goes. So moving on with that, I wanted to go ahead and move on with FTR now capturing the AEW Tag Team Champions from Kenny Omega and Adam Page. Obviously, I was go first. It was a solid match. I enjoyed every one of it from both sides, you know, for the teams. Great finish. I mean, not the greatest finish because I feel like they could have done more, but I think they were not really. There was a little tiny little green towards the end. I think it was finished quickly. I think it should have been. I'm assuming that it was a different finish, but I think just the finish they had to go with the finish they had. You know, two, spike pile drivers, and that's it. And then obviously we saw, Kenny Omega going back to the cleaner. He might go back to the cleaner. So I will ask you, Mr. Hero, what were your thoughts about the Tag Team Championships, and where do you see this going with FTR?
I actually felt the match went a little too long. But definitely a lot of high spots and maybe it's just me, but I saw a side of FTR that I didn't see in WWE. I saw almost kind of like they were liberated to do everything in their potential, I saw them do stuff that I didn't see them do over there, and it was great. I definitely like I said earlier, like I was kind of surprised about it, but then when it did happen, of course, FTR are the tag team champions. Actually, if you look at the archives, I actually kind of predicted that when whether the Young Bucks or FTR were going to be tag team champions first. I did mention FTR.
You predicted FTR was going to be the tag champs, and the Young Bucks were going to challenge it.
And that was my prediction.
Yep.
And so far so good on that, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, definitely those guys are worthy champions. These guys brought it, and Kenny Omega kind of hinting at some things there, I would say. I'm not too familiar with the cleaner thing, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. And if he was as dominant as they say, then I'm looking forward to that very much so, because I haven't really seen Kenny at his top, potential, I would say, in AEW, being in the tag team division and stuff. So I would like to see him do a singles run. And yeah, honestly, I also thought that Adam Page was going to be kind of in that role, but I'm glad Kenny could potentially be a heel. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about the tag team championship?
I think one of the main things that I liked that was a big change, that I think some of the new ring gear is kind of like, usually when new ring gear happens and it happens gradually, it kind of shows either like a change of character or a change of gimmick or personality. And with Hangman Page, this is just me personally. I enjoy seeing like either like a wrestling pants or like the suspenders and all that. And like, I think that look looks cool. And the rest, I think it looks cooler than the trunks, like personally, or the regular like Speedo trunk tights thing that Hangman Page used to have. And I love the new pants that he had, and it had like the the fringe and everything. It looks cool.
Yeah.
So I want to see that. I want to see him wearing that for like his singles run. And whether they're heels or faces, I just want to see them get up against like the large dudes. I want to see kind of like how Hangman Page and Kenny Omega does against like in singles matches with because now AEW has a good number of like big size guys, they're hosses, right, for the smaller dudes to face, whether it's because we've seen like heel like small guy versus like baby face big guy before, so we could see heel versus heel, like whatever order. I just small guy versus big guy is just fun to see, and especially if they're like as agile and as versatile movesets as Hangman and Kenny. And as for the match itself, you know, I was with like Mike on this one. I was with the Hero on this one, where, you know, I want to see them drop the belts so we could see that match everybody's been waiting for, Young Bucks versus FTR. And now that there's a little bit of a crowd back, we're going to get to see that.
I believe we are. I think we're going to see that in Full Gear, and maybe Full Gear is going to happen. Because remind you that Young Bucks did beat the Jurassic Express for the number one contendership for that. Even though it's weird because, which we'll get to, you know, Dynamite, you know, in a few. But it was weird that they're going to get a shot, obviously, for the tag belts against FTR, Jurassic Express. So definitely they're going to go ahead and save this for Full Gear. So we're going to see Young Bucks and FTR Full Gear modes. That's no shadow of a doubt. That's going to happen. It is for sure. So also I forgot to mention, my apologies, which I forgot. Just want to mention right quick, like, what a great debut for Matt Saito. Let's give it a round of applause with a botch, ladies and gentlemen. What a freaking botch. What a debut. And it was a horrible.
My condolences to my fellow Matt.
Jesus.
Yeah, another Matt. Yes.
Another Matt. You see?
The Seidels.
The Seidels. So, no, see? You're the Seidels.
How have all the Matts been doing in AEW so far?
I mean, so far, yours looking great. So far, Cardona's doing good. I mean, he won, you know, him and Scorpio Sky and the Natural Nightmares against the Dark Order, excuse me. You know, they beat them and all out, you know. So they're looking so far so good. So far so good, you know. But, you know, obviously the main event, I mean, you already said earlier, Mike, you said it was a good classic match between MJF and Moxley, and I'm with you that 100%. It was a great instant classic, and it did make MJF this up high. You know, I'm with you 100%, and I enjoyed it. Yes, a lot of people kind of despise it. Why was he the only one bleeding, and why not the champ? So what? He's a fighting champion. He's a fighting challenger. But it was a great. I loved it. I loved the whole match itself was great. So I'm with you, Mr. Hero. That match was classic.
Absolutely.
What about you, Mr. Steamboat? You feel it was a classic match or no?
I wanted that match to get like I hope Meltzer, if you're listening, 5 stars.
There's my 5 stars for him. There's my 5 stars, Meltzer. And Alvarez. I'm gonna shit you guys hate me. I don't care. Ban me. I don't care. Ban me all you want. You guys are full of shit.
And I'll say, and whether you like that deserves it. You know, that match deserves it. And you know, it's you know, with the psychology of that match, the way it went down is, I'd say that match is on the same like level almost. You know, to I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say it's almost as good as Okada versus Katsuyori Shibata, that last Shibata match, because where Shibata was throwing everything that he had at Okada, defending champion, and he was bleeding.
That was a great match too. That was a great match.
The whole thing where MJF's throwing everything he has at Moxley and coming up short, you know, that makes it like one of the greatest, you know, to go down. You know, whether MJF won or not, that's a classic. You know, I mean, you know, I won't put that on the same level as Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, but it's a classic.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Yeah, I won't go
there.
Don't
do it, Kellerman. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The definition of player hate.
I wish Mr. Killer was here, which I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen. Our other brother, Repetition Killer, Josh Horton, is not joining us this evening. He has other things to attend to, but he'll be here next week. And say hello to him. Hey. But yeah, you lucky as Josh ain't here. He would have told you the same shit. Don't do it. Do not compare it. do not compare it to Stone Cold and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Do not even dare you to do that. Okay, because I will walk out right now at this scene. I will walk out. Don't make me do it. All right, so moving on with AEW. Let's go ahead and move on, actually. I just want to go ahead and get this out of my chest right quick. I believe that I believe you guys as well. It was kind of ridiculous when we kind of heard basically, this happened last week. Papa Vinny, decided to go ahead and actually announce this first. Telling the superstars, "Well, God damn it, you guys got 30 days to suspend all your Twitter, your YouTube, your Twitch, all your social media. 30 days." He gave them 30 days to suspend all their third-party affiliates, which was from, basically, Cameo, YouTube, everything, all the social media platforms that they use. They're using their real names. And then the next thing you know, now WWE put a statement out there, which, to clarify it. And I want to read the statement, and I want to get your thoughts about it. So let me read out the statement for you right quick. So this is what they said. They said, much like Disney and Warner Brothers, WWE creates, promotes, invests in its intellectual property. The stage names of performers like The Fiend, Roman, Big E, Strowman. It is the control and exploitation of these characters that allows WWE to drive revenue, which in turn enables the company to compensate performers at the highest level in the sports entertainment industry. Notwithstanding the contractual language, it is imperative for the success of our company to protect our greatest assets and establish partnerships with third party on a company-wide basis rather than individual level, which as a result will provide more value for all involved. So that is her statement. So I want to hear your thoughts, Mr. Hero. Do you feel in that bullshit, or what are your thoughts about this crap?
WWE is not Disney. WWE is not WB. And I guess I'm gonna have to get my Cameo's birthday wishes early for next year. I'm gonna have to go on a rampage and get Kevin Steen, because it's not Kevin Owens on there. It's Kevin Steen to wish me a happy birthday for next year. Now before he's gone. No, this is ridiculous. Why? I mean, I would. I can't see the harm in doing things like a Cameo or a Twitch. It's extra income for the wrestlers, and I don't know if YouTube is a thing that's going to have to be cut out, but I watch some of the wrestlers' YouTube channels, and I know that they get revenue off of that, and not everything revolves around WWE. They have personal lives that they would like to vlog just like the rest of us. It's just insane, and it's very unfortunate that they feel that they have to do something like this to maintain such a sense of control over their superstars, because I don't think that there's any real harm that comes from it. But hey, I heard people say oh, well, if they want to control them like employees, then they should make them employees, and all that sort of thing, and not have them be independent contractors.
Very true.
That was a big thing that I was hearing.
Who was it was the politician who said it, who was running for president.
Andrew Yang.
Yes, Mr. Yang said it straight out. He said it in the Chris Van Fleet show. He did say that. He mentioned that. It's like he dropped the F-bomb too. Like, our group as a fan, we all group as a fan. I mean, how is it fair for these people? They're human beings. They're giving their lives out for everybody, entertaining us, and you're trying to take a dime off of them to make on the side? Why don't you just put them as an employees instead of independent contractors? That's fucking bullshit. Like, he straight out pretty much said it, and I agree with him. I hate to say, I mean, I love WWE, but this, I don't know. So Vince is very old, man. He's a grumpy old man. He doesn't really know much about technology nowadays. I mean, if he's mad at the fact that their superstars are getting more viewers on their personal freaking, social media platforms compared to WWE platforms, then that's not your problem, Vince. That's their personal lives. It ain't your life. Like, Get a grip, man. Like, you really try to own their name. Like, you trying to say, well, I own your fucking name, and I own everything. No, you don't. You don't own shit.
I'm curious to know what Triple H thinks about this.
You know what? He has no comment to say.
Really?
Nope. No
because
comment.
of the two between Triple H and McMahon, it's kind of seen that Triple H is more lenient and more with the times, I guess you could say.
Of course, I mean, because Triple H knows this is the different how he says it. This is a moment in time, because he always says that moment in time is his phrase. Moment in time. This is a moment in time that obviously this is a different era. This is not. What he's trying to do for me is trying to go. He wants to own obviously everything. He wants everything to be affiliated to WWE. Like, that's being greedy. Excuse me, greedy as fuck. Like, you're being greedy, straight out. Like,
also,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, last thought on this. Also, I've noticed that, for example, like a Peyton Royce, whose real name is Cassie, I believe.
Yes.
She has Sean Spears, who's in AEW, on her show. So, I don't know if this kind of rule that they're implementing has anything to do with that sort of thing too.
No, what basically started this was supposedly it started. This is according to Mr. 5-Star Dave Meltzer, which here you go, said, oh yeah, well, Lana was promoting an energy drink. Oh, here, look, I'm promoting this energy drink, and she, she was promoting Bang on Twitch, on her YouTube channel, and I guess so what if she's endorsed by only her directly? Why the hell not? That has nothing to do with WWE. That's her personal thing. And that's when the whole thing started. And then from there, it just went crazy. That's when Vince found out. When he speaks out of his ass. And there you go. And he said that first statement, and until they fixed the statement and put it in this word, which obviously is stating the issue statement is pretty much saying, well, if you're gonna be affiliated, well, you gotta include us too, type of thing. That's what it's saying. Am I right or wrong? Is that what it's saying or no?
Yeah, I did get that kind of thing.
Right? It gets that sense that you want to be included. So, I mean, go ahead, Mr. Steve. I want to hear your thoughts about this shit.
The main thing is for some of the lower card wrestlers on the WWE roster, I'm not even sure if they're getting paid enough to maintain all of their family's expenses. Because you have to think about, okay, the cost of your house, the cost of sending your kids to school if they go to a private school or they go to college, and blah blah blah, insurance, all the costs pile up, all these different your car bill, your phone bill, and some of them are probably relying on these outside revenue streams to pay the bills for all these different things. And I don't think with being an independent contractor, you don't have that guaranteed, you don't have a guaranteed salary, monthly. They could do stuff with the tax loopholes to pay you even less than you actually made. They'll probably take more out of your merch, like, oh, you owe us this much for the merch production, just to not just own your name, but also pay you way less as well. If they can, they're not going to give you a cut of your merch sales. They're not going to give you a big enough cut of your merch sales. They're not going to give a big enough cut of whatever ticket sales or Thunderdome sales, which it is now, So it's just more ways that they could keep more of their money, rather than, more ways they could keep more of their money and not allow their stars. I think with something like this is, going to cause more people to leave. Oh, wait, it has.
Well, of course. It's going to
get to that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to cause, obviously, people to leave. And basically,
especially those who can't afford it. So,
well, absolutely. And I think, I know where you're talking, but see, what you're talking about, that's basically back then. I don't think it has to do with it now. I mean, with this era, right now, I think it's.
I'm saying the wrestlers can't afford it.
No. That's what I'm trying to get. My point is, like you're saying about ticket, based about ticket revenues and live events. I mean, of course, absolutely. That I feel that has something to do with it as well, because there's no live events. They're not performing, and people that are not on the show, not on TV, of course they got to make another living, and obviously they pay you, I guess, based upon being on TV. then they'll pay you, I guess, whatever we perform, because there's no live shows. How they used to be, like, before this pandemic situation happened. So I feel like, yeah, that was another way to to make money on the side, third party affiliates, because who can if you're not being used on TV, how are you making money? You're not sitting down, you're not sitting at home getting a paycheck. There's a lot of things that we don't know in details exactly how a WWE contract works in specific, but we hear he said, she said, everything. We hear everything of what we know about. I mean, we're just giving our opinion about it. But if it does work that way, that you're not going to pay an individual because you're not putting it on TV or her on TV and sitting at home, then of course I'll do the same thing. I'll make a Twitch channel. I'll make a YouTube channel. Why not? Get some money. It's not like they're paying a lot. I mean, we don't know. I mean, I'm saying, they're probably not getting paid as much. But hey, it's their personal name and it's their persona. And I don't think Vince has no damn fucking right to own, like, none of their fucking shit what they're doing. Even Paige changed it to her real name, and she's like, the hell with it. I'm still going to do it regardless, whatever the fuck they tell me. So it's like more like the FU to Vince. Everybody else is doing the same thing. And it's ridiculous. It's stupid for trying to do that. And this looks bad on WWE, honestly. Because this type of shit will make you lose fans. You're this type of thing, this type of audacity that you want to implement to your superstars, you're going to lose them. They're like, fuck, I don't care. Let me go. I'll go to New Japan or I'll go to AEW, somewhere, or Ring of Honor. Fuck it. They'll go back to what it, but it looks bad on them. Vince, you better fix that shit, man. Fix it. Let them be.
This kind of makes me think, because I know I mentioned that WWE is not Disney, and I know that, for example, Disney has certain rules that are kind of similar in effect, but the difference being that Disney puts out some pretty good movies, and quality entertainment, and WWE with things like Raw Underground, I don't know. I don't know if they're able to afford losing fans, especially in a time like this. So
it precisely
shape up.
You cannot afford it. You cannot afford it. So let's go ahead and move on with that. So we already said our 2 cents about it. So, Vinny, if you need help, call us, man. So it's all it takes is a call. And then, we can talk. That's it. Give us a call.
Simple.
Very simple.
Plus, call us now.
Yeah, call us now. Call me now.
Español.
There you go. Hablamos español.
Don't win.
And okay, moving on with that. Let's go on. Finally, with SmackDown, finally we have what we wanted the whole damn time, which we've been saying in the archives. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, when you look at our channel, subscribe, and go back to our archives, our previous episodes. We did mention them. We needed to see this happen. Bayley needs to turn on Asuka, and obviously the Great American Hero is the greatest predictor, and he always gets his shit right. So it happened. It finally happened that Bayley turned on Sasha after they're, trying to get another shot at the women's tag team championship against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Everything went wrong, and she snapped again. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, were you happy about this? Were you finally like, yes, now we're going to see this? Where do you see what pay-per-view event do you see this match happen?
I forgot what pay-per-view. Night of Champions, I think, is next.
Clash of Champions.
Oh, Clash of Champions, whatever. Yeah, I mean, happy, yes, but more relieved, really, because we finally kind of get all this role model stuff out of the way, and we can move on to what we really wanted to see, and it's Sasha versus Bayley for the SmackDown Championship, Women's Championship, and it's long overdue, and a little bit of me kind of has started to be disinterested in it. I hope that the build up for this kind of brings me right back in. I feel like they took way too long.
Thank you. Way too long.
But it's here now, and that's what matters. It's here now, and they have to knock it out of the park, in my opinion. And you know what? They both Sasha and Bailey are both well capable superstars to make this an interesting rivalry, and let's go for it.
I know. I can't. I'm looking forward as well. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about finally this feud is going to happen again?
It's Sasha and Bailey. They've been marquee names for a minute now, so I'm pretty sure they'll have a pretty solid match and string of matches coming out of this too. They could probably stretch this out for a minute. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. That I think it's going to be like more than a trilogy. I think it's going to be a great, whatever. I would say like a best out of 7. I wouldn't.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't mind that, to be honest, because I think like, I did like the Benoit and Booker T best out of 7. I did enjoy that. Why not? We can see them for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool to do.
Yeah.
Or
why not?
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell.
We already had Sasha in Hell in a Cell, so we could,
Yeah, but why not Bailey and Sasha? Charlotte and Sasha.
Yeah, that'd be solid.
Yeah, but Charlotte and Sasha wasn't like I wouldn't say it was great, but it wasn't like the best ending. It was horrible. There was a lot of botches, but obviously we're not going to get into that. But see, there you go. Like, you give us a call. Like Mike said, we speak Spanish.
We'll lead the way.
We'll lead the right direction for SmackDown and Raw, and not NXT. That's Triple H. But give us 205 and we can fix that for you too. So definitely. And now another thing that also got me interested was obviously there was the number 1 contendership match, which was Sheamus, Baron Corbin, Matt Riddle, and Jey Uso to the replacement of Big E because Big E got beat up by Sheamus. And now Jey Uso is the number 1 contender. I'm really fucking confused what's going on here. So now we're going to have him versus Roman Reigns, the Clash of Champions. What's up with that? I mean, someone fucking help me out here. I'm not understanding the story. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Jey Uso to get a, title shot for the first time, singles, and he's getting it. I'm not hating on it. I hope it's not a squash, but it looks like it might be. But Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts? You think should have happened, or I don't get it. Help me out here. I don't get it.
It's like, let's put the Samoans with the Samoans. That might be like the mindset that they have.
I mean, I guess so.
It could be.
Yeah, that's probably what they're thinking. Yeah,
maybe I trust my blood. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mr. Hero, help me out here.
It came out of nowhere, right? I will say, what's up with that?
What's up with that?
I will say, big ups to Big E, man, for taking that bump on the car windshield there.
Oh my God, it looked horrible.
Yes, it did. My goodness. But yeah, Jey Uso, it's interesting because I believe this is his first title match.
Yeah,
main event title match.
It's his first main event.
It just came out of nowhere. But yeah, for me, man, if they gave him the title, okay, great. Just get it off of Roman, please. Heel or not, I don't know. But, it's just, it goes to show that anything can happen, really. And they're trying to do new things, trying out, different stuff to catch viewers. I don't know if the Thunderdome boosted viewership or not. And, I've been in the Thunderdome a couple of times now. And,
I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool and all. But I don't know if that is what was needed for viewership. So they're trying things out like very out of the box with Jey Uso. I'm very curious to see the build up to the match, and will they actually like attack each other even though they're family? Like, how intense is this rivalry is it going to get? And if it does get intense, I think that's the best thing that could happen to Jey, because that kind of, I feel like, if done right, of course, will probably catapult him up to to main event or as close to main event as it could be, and we'll be talking about J Mania in a few months. So
Wow. Wow.
hey,
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. From the great American hero. You heard it. He said it. He's a very predictable mindset.
Should I copyright J Mania already? Or
there you go. Get it before they make the website. Get the domain.
Yeah, man. Before they make the domain, right?
The domain now.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on with SmackDown. Let's go ahead and move on with Raw now. So we saw the split up we talked about last week on episode 18, and now we saw them actually competing with each other one-on-one singles. Different theme songs, very interesting. So obviously Peyton Royce pick up the win. So this looks like it's bye-bye for Billy Kay. I'm sorry, Billy. They're gonna bury you now. You're gonna be a jobber now moving forward. I'm sorry, I hate to say that. I'm not hating on your persona. I love your character. Your in-ring skills still need some more work. But as you can see, Papa B is going to bury the shit out of you moving forward. I hate to say it. So, Mr. Hero, say bye-bye to Billy Kay. What are your thoughts about the new theme songs and everything else?
I actually did not get to hear the new theme songs. When I tuned in, the match had already started. But I'm actually curious to hear it. I'm a musician, so I'm gonna definitely check those out. And it's interesting that right off the bat they put them against each other. It was like lightning speed. Like, okay, here we go, split up against each other. Bye, Billy Kay and Peyton. You can go on and do your thing now. Yeah. It's not like how I mentioned last week that. The whole Mandy and Sonya Deville thing was stretched out, for months. Yeah. And this only took 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And the rivalry is over, and
that's it.
Then that's it. So, if I were Billy Kay, I will be hoping to go to NXT. I would be just get me out of there, before I start being jobbed out. Before I become a jabroni, which is now a word in the dictionary, right? So so I mean, as for Peyton, hopefully she stays in McMahon's good graces and she goes on to have a successful career, which I'm pretty sure she can. I feel the main event title picture is in need of for the women needs more newer faces, but and during this matchup, I couldn't help but think like these girls could have been multiple-time tag team champions.
Very true.
I always felt that they were the most solid tag team in sense of being together and kind of like an Edge and Christian sort of thing, really.
There you go. I love it. Great minds think alike.
Yes. And they totally dropped the ball. And
yes.
I was watching an interview that Billy Kay had with Chris Van Vliet that she would have been interested in doing a TLC match, and it just got me thinking, like, them, Riot Squad, and add another like Tamina and Nia Jax in there.
That would have been
TLC,
great.
And
even with Sasha and Bailey, I would have added them.
Yeah, absolutely. Have them call the action in the ring, and I want there to be more of a distinction between the tag team division and the main title division. I didn't like the whole crossover with Sasha and Bailey being both champions and then tag team champions. Like in AEW with Jericho on that. Well, I guess we'll talk about that in a bit. But Jericho announcing that he wants to be in the tag team division. It's kind of a separation from the main event. It's a separation from that division. It's division by definition, it's separate, right? So yeah. So there you go. So those are my thoughts.
Mr. Steamboat, obviously you did not see that match, so I'm not even going to ask you, or did you?
No, I didn't see it, but I'll just say something about burying. They should get that shovel on the wall that's like like actual physical shovel just for, yeah, bury this, bury this wrestler, and then fill in a name, and it's probably got a plaque on it, wrestlers that were buried,
Speaking of split, I mean, we're gonna see another split. We're gonna see. Obviously, we're gonna see another split now with Andrade and Angel. We're gonna see that. It just happened on this past Raw. So, yeah, I'm really upset, but it is what it is.
Oh, really?
It could have been. It could have been dealt with it differently. They should have been the fucking tag team champions, man. They should have been. Now you're gonna split them up. Just another buried. That means Shard is man. That's another one's gonna get buried. Pop Vinny doesn't like him. He likes more Angel Garza. I see the Eddie Guerrero in him, which you're wrong. You're a dumb piece of shit. You're wrong. He's not Eddie Guerrero. He's not.
No, he's not.
There's never gonna be another Eddie Guerrero. Period. Dotted fucking line. So now, Mr. Hero, I'll ask you to split. Was it the right decision? Bad decision? What are your thoughts?
I never got the sense of them as being a tag team like how I saw the Iconics. I don't know. I just felt that there were these two guys and they're both Hispanic and let's put them together, right? That's how I saw it, and that's the sense that I got. I do feel that. Well, I do not agree that Angel Garza is the next Eddie Guerrero, because there's only one, and it was Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, Hall of Famer legend. Angel has long ways to go in any kind of shadow of that, However, I do see charisma there. I do see him as this charismatic heel, which kind of it kind of makes me wonder that my number one question in this storyline is that they're both heels. I see, and I can't see Andrade as a baby face. I don't know. It's just how he's been put on TV, but it will be like a heel versus heel sort of thing, I guess. Or I don't know. Or maybe next week they'll have their match and then, right, that's it, and they move on to other stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely do see Angel Garza as the Shawn Michaels in this tag team.
Oh my God.
I mean, less.
No.
Less,
I know what you're talking about. I get it, and I'm with you. Brave Man, Sick Light. Yeah, if it would have been that way, yeah, it would have been the Shawn Michaels and Diesel type of tag team. If they would have been tag team champs, of course. Now they're going to be separate. Of course, Angel Garza is going to be on his own. And remind you that we're going to have the draft, so we might see changes. There might be. That's what is splitting everybody up, because everybody's moving everywhere. That's obviously why there's a lot of split ups. So, I mean, I don't know. Mr. Steamboat, I know that you're kind of a big I'm hoping that you're a big fan of Garza. I'm sorry, Andrade. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so a few things to say about Andrade, or as we used to call him, La Sombra, the great La Sombra. He's actually one of my girlfriend's favorite wrestlers. So, and, I'll say it's a great chance for him to get back to singles activity, since they're splitting up that tag team. So I like him as a singles wrestler, but I mean, he's not bad in tag teams, but it just seems to be his that it's a specialty, I mean, I think as of recently we've seen him shine more as like a singles wrestler in WWE compared to like the other places, but this is a chance for him to really shine again as a singles wrestler. So
I'm hoping so. I think as a singles wrestler with Andrade, it's better off, my opinion. And when he went to the main roster, I saw some potential there in the beginning, and I was kind of like hoping there was going to be there, and not because of Charlotte. I'm pushing Charlotte out of the way on this one, but it's just. I think Vince saw something in Andrade that he liked, and I think Triple H vouched for him because, remind you, Andrade is another former member of, Los Ingobernables, So that's why he does this, is to represent them. That's the reason why he does this, is to represent Los Ingobernables. And people don't know that, for some of you viewers, so I'm hoping that I think he should. I think he's better off at SmackDown. I would like to see Andrade and AJ going at it, singles competition. That would be great to see. Or Andrade feuding with Jeff Hardy, or why not? So, different. I think for him going to singles and having Selena with him will be great. And having him going to SmackDown, the hell with it. Raw buried him.
Something we should have seen in New Japan: AJ Styles and La Sombra, or AJ Styles and Andrade.
I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on that. 100% with you with that. Now let's move on. So we finally got the little tease, and now we saw Cedric Alexander turning heel and becoming an official member of the Hurt Business. Obviously, you saw Shelton Benjamin was like, "Well, I don't trust you. You're in for the money," type of thing. Like, money? I guess it's part of the storyline. I guess whatever. But I guess we have Cedric not turning heel. So you're Mr. Hero. Your thoughts now that they have added the fourth member, and was he the better fit for being the fourth member, or it should have been Apollo Crews, or it should have been Ricochet? What were your thoughts?
Yes, I do think that he was the better choice out of those three. I got a good sense of his mic skills during that promo that he gave, and I do think he gives the better promo than like Apollo or Ricochet. Ricochet is good, I would say, but as far as a fit for the Hurt Business, I do think Cedric Alexander would be a better fit. I mean, I would like to see Lashley, since they're not going to give him the main title, with the United States, and then MVP and Cedric with the tag titles, and 24/7 on Shelton. Give them gold. Give them something, to work with. Because Raw Underground is going to be kaput in a few weeks, I hope. I damn sure hope so, because it's just doing nothing for me or a bunch of...
I'm with you on that. It's not doing nobody for shit. So, Mr. Steamboat, who do you thought would have been a better fit for the Hurt Business? I mean, he's saying Cedric's fine. Should have been Cedric, Ricochet, or Apollo Crews. I mean, or do you like the Cedric, turning heel?
I don't know what's going on with like Ricochet right now. Like, I'm somewhat familiar with them. I don't know what's going on with Cedric's storyline wise. Has he been like a white meat baby face the whole time, and he kind of been ignored more or less, or is he kind of hot right now?
Both of them are. It was both of them are. It's just that MVP was teasing Cedric to come join me. He keeps saying no until he finally turned his back on Apollo Crews and Ricochet. And now he's a heel. I mean, they've been teasing this for a while. So, I mean, for me, this is who I really feel bad and disappointed is Ricochet. It's just, they're not using him. Conan said it in his podcast. I heard, the Real 100. He said it, that the reason why Vince is burying him because he has no mic skills. I hate to say it, but he's kind of right. He really doesn't really have much mic skills. He kind of reminds me when Apollo Crews started in the main roster. Because the Crews was the same thing. He was more smiley, like he was, what guy, like I think Ricochet's almost the same, but I believe in Ricochet. I know he could be a dominant singles competitor. It just fuck. I don't. Jesus, that's another big. I'm a big fan of his work. I was like, shit, Vince is burying him as hell.
He's in the wrong place, man.
Go to SmackDown, bro. If not, go back to NXT. Go back to NXT, man. Go back with your girl, Katie. Go back over there. They ain't doing shit for you.
Katie's gone, though.
They fired her today?
No, I thought she was...
No, she's back.
She got fired a while back.
No, they brought her back.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, Ricochet, go with your girl. NXT, go to NXT.
Go back to NXT, man. Make you and Finn Balor, why not? I would like to see that. Why the hell not? Well, let's go ahead and move on with that. Now I want to move on now with Dominic's first singles win in a street fight against Buddy Murphy. Great match. I actually enjoyed it. He did a lot of similarities like his father, Rey Mysterio. Obviously the ending was funny. For me, it's funny. But obviously the whole family beat the shit out of him, and then he obviously got his win. So, Mr. Hero, I'll ask you, what were your thoughts about Dominic's first singles win in WWE?
The kid's got tons of potential. He has everything going for him right now. And I mean, he's learned from some big names in the business. And, to have, your first match at SummerSlam does not come lightly, you know? I'm pretty sure that they kind of prepared him and all that. So he's ready. He's good to go, I would say. And this match kind of backs that up, I feel. Who I feel sorry for is Murphy. My goodness. you get beat up by the Mysterio family, and that should have been Rollins, I feel. Rollins has been the one messing with the family. The family should have taken it out on him and given this storyline some ending. That's it. Rollins go on and do something else. Where was Rollins, by the way?
Well, he was off, I guess. But let me ask you this, though. Do you still stand by your word about him going to NXT, though? Or do you rather have him stay in the main roster?
He needs to go to NXT. He has to go to NXT, yeah. I mean, no matter how, the only way you could stay in the main roster is if your name is AJ Styles. That's it. Everybody else, you should go to NXT. They had Finn Balor go to NXT. They had, Ricochet in NXT. All these names that they made go there first to kind of get the WWE style down, and he should be no exception. He really shouldn't. And I'm not hating or anything like that. I think the kid is going to have a tremendous career, but yeah, shouldn't be any special treatment there, I feel.
All right.
Go to NXT.
There you go. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts?
It's kind of like when they were talking about, like at first, they were talking about like the wild card rule, and all this. It doesn't really matter what show you're on, Like I don't know why. Like it's like the rules only matter when Vince wants them to, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm on Raw. I was like, okay, like maybe even if you are AJ Styles, you'll probably show up on NXT. Like if AEW starts like really killing, like massacres them in the ratings, if they go into like the 2 millions, AJ Styles will probably show up on NXT. I bet. Like if AEW goes into like the 2 millions or the 3 millions, like AJ Styles might show up there, and then they'll have to call everybody down there, and then you're gonna see everybody on every show, just because Vince says so, just because of his emotions.
Right.
What do we do?
Wait, what are we doing here? I don't want him to stay in NXT. Hunter, take him back. Speaking of NXT, let's go ahead and move on with NXT, though. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to find out who was crowned the NXT champion. And obviously, it was a great matchup between Finn Balor and Adam Cole, and obviously the victor, as we said it here in the archives in the previous episode 18 and 17. We said it. We all won on this one. Finn Balor, two-time NXT champion. So, Mr. Steamboat, were you happy that Finn Balor won the NXT champion? And where do you see Adam Cole going here from next?
I think it's a great match because we get to see more like a battle of the Bullet Club,
Yes.
Because this is kind of what we were expecting when we first saw Finn Balor appear on NXT, like the first when it was like the first Wednesday night of the Wednesday Night Wars. Like you saw Finn Balor appear, and I'm like, and that's where we thought it was going to happen right away. It was going to be Adam Cole, Finn Balor for the title, like just like that. But they went somewhere else with Finn Balor. They went somewhere else with Adam Cole, and and this is kind of what we were waiting for since that first Wednesday night, and then we finally got it. So Adam Cole, we could see the main roster call up pretty soon, especially since like he's already had the 2 title reigns. 3, I don't know if is it possible because I don't know what goes through Adam Cole's head. Like, do I want to be in the main roster? Do I want to be the first 3-time NXT champion? Who knows? He could go either way with it.
I agree. I'm with you. That Mr. Hero, your thoughts?
Man, I'm so glad that they gave Finn Balor the title. He's a former Universal Champion, the first ever. Why are you gonna treat this guy any different than the NXT Championship? I feel. I do like this potential rivalry here with Adam Cole and Finn Balor that could happen, right? We don't really know yet, but as far as Adam, man, I would not go to the main roster just yet. I would chase history. I would want to be the first 3-time NXT champion. Yep, absolutely. 3 times. Maybe even 4, right?
Maybe 5 time. 5 time.
Like Booker T. And he has to do Cola Rooney. He's got to do the Cola Rooney.
The Cola Rooney, ladies and gentlemen. The Cola Rooney.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first from Mr.
Absolutely.
MGC. Like the Steamboat. I would love that. Oh, man. But, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, I'm with you that 100%. I think he should not go to the main roster. He should stay in the NXT and build, like how Gargano and Ciampa are doing the same thing, building that product, building that brand, building up other superstars that are upcoming to the level and make the best of it. Why not? I mean, especially with Undisputed Era. I know everybody thinks that Undisputed Era should be splitting, which is a rumor in your window. They're thinking about splitting them up. I think they should not. I think they should continue keeping Undisputed Era and, have them feud, create different factions, create different tag teams. Why not? Or send them to the UK. Go over to the UK and do something about it. How about Adam Cole going for the NXT UK title with it? Against Walter. Why not? That would be awesome too. To have Adam Cole to go to UK, dominate NXT both the United States and United Kingdom. That would be so great because that'll be Undisputed Era everywhere. That will make sense. See. Tell them, Mike. Tell them to call us, please.
We're not that hard to reach.
We're not.
You could even comment on the video. Let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we can Hunter, Paul Levesque, if you hear us, sign us up. We'll write it for you. Put it right there in dot for you.
Free consultation.
There you go. Call me now. Call us now. All right, so. Also, just one more on NXT I would like to bring about. What a great steel cage match between Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez. I enjoyed it. I thought for a minute, I thought Mercedes was going to be put over. But, wow, this match looked Rhea very dominant. And it was a great match. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't boring. It was a great main event. I actually enjoyed it. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, did you enjoy the main event? Did you thought that Mercedes was going to win, or you like this tough side of Rhea Ripley, her winning, on the steel cage match?
I do feel that Rhea Ripley is on her way to the main roster. I feel that's the destination for her, ultimately. And Mercedes, from the little that I know about her, she's more of a veteran, and I feel like they're going to get more mileage out of Rhea Ripley, and I was rooting for Ripley all the way. I do think that she has the potential to be a main eventer up in the main roster, and I mean, she went against Charlotte at WrestleMania. She's definitely on her way. The match, pretty cool, man. I definitely enjoyed it, and I remember a few weeks ago at SummerSlam that Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose had their match, and they could use weapons and all this and that, and kind of left me wanting more action in that match. But this match with Mercedes and Rhea, this is what I would have wanted to see at SummerSlam. I would have wanted to see more weapons and more action and more intensity, and this delivered it in droves, I feel, and a worthy main event. So yeah, so Thumbs up for me.
There you go. Thumbs up from the Great American Hero, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Mr. Steamboat, what about your thoughts about that? I mean, do you think Rhea Ripley main roster? What are your thoughts?
You get a lot of great feuds out of Rhea Ripley, especially like all the nonverbal she was kind of giving off with like both her matches with Io Shirai and Charlotte, and like we've seen her really grow this year. It's like I said this earlier. Whenever like a wrestler goes through a change in image, either they dye their hair a different color or they change their ring gear or they're walking the ring gear, you see a metamorphosis. So I think like she's changing for the main roster, changing character, changing hair, like so many different things. So
yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to see more of Rhea Ripley. Maybe it's a main roster. We never know. Mercedes, I like her potential. I've been following her career. I love her in Japan. I love her in in the independent scene. She has a lot to give still. She is like remind you that she trained Shayna Baszler also. Helped her as well to become a professional wrestler. So, I mean, Mercedes Martinez has a lot of credentials in her book, and I still cannot wait to see this is just really the beginning for her. So I cannot wait what they do for her next in NXT, and hopefully see her in the main roster, but not too soon. Not yet, Vinny. Don't. Oh, I like her. That's good shit. That's good shit. No. Don't do that. No. If not, I'm going to have Mike give you the finger. You. There you go. He's going to give you no. He's going to give you the no. Don't do that. That's a no.
You just got to hulk up. You got to hulk up.
He's going to hulk up. He's going to go the American hero style. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and give you some pro wrestling news. And also, we'll talk about a little bit of Japan, what's going on, revealing the G1 Climax number 30. The participants are going to be involved. Then we'll also talk about AEW. So we'll be right back as we hear from the sponsored, the captain himself. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Where the hell are those Indian monkeys at?
Flying monkeys. Circle of debate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Debate podcast. We thank the captain. We salute you. Te mandamos saludos. That's to all my Spanish people right there as well. So let's go ahead and move on, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and move on with pro wrestling news. Now, I just want to move on right quick, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, which we did announce last week, that Ring of Honor was going to go ahead and begin their pure title tournament. They actually revealed already who is actually in the tournament, which go ahead and look up on Ring of Honor's YouTube channel. They'll go ahead and reveal you who are the participants. And we're looking forward to see when that begins. On Monday was only the special announcement who was participating in the pure tournament. So I'm looking forward. It's a lot of great names. Obviously, the All-Race champion, Jay Lethal, is in that tournament. Dalton Castle and so many more. David Finlay. So we have a lot of people that are going to be competing in that tournament. So keep an eye on Ring of Honor and follow them on Ring of Honor YouTube channel. And also, want to go ahead and mention Tessa Blanchard's in-ring return since being let go from Impact. She will be returning on September. Let's see here. September 12th. She'll be returning. She'll be competing in an independent wrestling company named Warrior Wrestling. She'll be facing Kylie Ray. So it'll be the first time that we see her coming back in ring return since the whole pandemic situation and her being in Mexico with Daga and marrying Daga. By the way, congratulations, Tessa. And now you're actually go ahead and actually competing for the first time in the States for a very long time. So we're looking forward to seeing that. That will be on Fight TV. So make sure you tune in, ladies and gentlemen. If you have Fight TV, subscribe to it. And you have great pro wrestling, channels there that have a lot of them. And also wanted to go ahead and also mention NWA will be returning as of next week, as they'll be also on Fight TV. So stay tuned for that, as we're going to see, Mike Bennett, formerly what was it? What was it on WWE? Canellis. Now will be competing against Nick Aldis for the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So stay tuned for that. And ladies and gentlemen, Mike Bennett is a great professional wrestler. Watch, YouTube his prior matches in New Japan and independent scene. So he still got it. So kudos to you, Mr. Bennett. I'm glad you're back, and hopefully, good luck of winning that NWA championship. Good luck with that. And also, I wanted to mention, obviously, we got, Tay Conti signing with AEW. She's official now. She got her contract, obviously, we saw last week. That folder that she was given by Anna Jay, and now it's official that she's now officially signed with AEW. So congratulations for her as well. We saw her debut in Dynamite this week. She wanted to cry. She's, but it was out of joy, because she finally has a company that appreciates her, and I'm glad that she got that opportunity, and a lot of people deserve it. And her in-ring skills are not bad at all. And I'm looking forward to see her feature in AEW and what we do for her. Join the Dark Order. The Dark Order. Sorry, Brody. Don't kick my ass, all right? Do not kick my ass, bro. All right. And also, I just wanted to go ahead and mention now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to mention with New Japan right quick, we finally have the reveal of the G1 Climax 30, the 20 participants that will be participating on the G1 Climax number 30. And that actually, the G1 will begin on September 19th all the way through October 18th. So stay tuned for that, as we will give you full coverage for that. Matt and myself will be giving you full coverage of the tournament. So let me go ahead and just announce the names of the two blocks that will be participating. So Block A will be Kota Ibushi, Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Shingo Takagi, Yujiro Takahashi, Taichi, Suzuki, Jeff Cobb, Will Ospreay, and Jay White. That's Block A, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm looking forward.
Breathe.
I'm looking forward to see Will Ospreay. I'm picking right now Will Ospreay. That's the guy that I'm going with. Will Ospreay, ladies and gentlemen. In Block B, we have Tanahashi, we have Goto, we have Toru Yano, we have Yoshihashi, we have Sanada, Naito, Evil, Zack Sabre Jr., Juice Robinson, the return of Juice Robinson. I'm glad to see him back finally. And we have Kenta as well. Speaking of Kenta, obviously he's going to go ahead and defend his number one contendership for the United States IWGP United States Championship. He's defending his number one contendership against Jeff Cobb, which is happening obviously today, Friday, September 11th. So we'll see who, the winner of that will go on to face John Moxley for the championship. We don't know when. We'll find out soon when that'll be further announced. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. Keep on following NewJapanWorld.com, and they give you a lot of updates. And also, we will go ahead and cover you as well, the G1 Climax, as when it starts on September 19th through October 18th. Matt and myself will be covering that. So stay tuned for more New Japan and more pro wrestling news. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on to AEW Dynamite. That it was a great opening match between the Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. Not a bad match. It was a great opening match. I do have a flaw, though, that I'm really not liking. This is the storyline with Eddie Kingston, being them, yo, you're my brother, Takedo, I love you, all this shit, and like they're burying the Lucha Bros for me. Like, what the fuck happened? What's going on?
What's up with that?
What's up with that? Sorry, Gregory, don't please. You made it very popular, but I love it. But still, Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts about the opening match for Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express? Do you feel like Lucha Bros are getting buried up here, or what the hell's going on?
It almost seems like they are, isn't it? But then again, I kind of like the Jurassic Express kind of gaining some momentum here, I know that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, have worked hard to make it here, and I if it were up to me, everybody would win, right? But that's not what wrestling is. So the Lucha Bros, it is kind of a weird pairing, I feel, between them, Butcher and Blade, and Kingston. And it just kind of came out of nowhere, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't see that team lasting for a while. But the weirdest part for me was seeing the Lucha Bros go or kind of have tension between each other. I actually thought it would be Lucha Bros having tension with Butcher and Blade.
Mm-hmm.
So at least that's what I thought was going to happen eventually. But no, it's between Lucha Bros. So what's up with that, right? So Kingston, he's a good talker and all, but I don't think he is the guy to have the Lucha Bros with. It does seem kind of like a burial, but hopefully it doesn't last too long.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about that opening match?
I want to see, like as for the finish, I want to see more singles come out of this rather than, I'd like they're kind of missing out. I'd rather have Pentagon Jr. in the singles division again, because I mean, if we remember back to All In, he had that singles match with Kenny Omega.
Great match, by the way.
Yeah, and he's an amazing singles performer just on his own. He's the reason why we do this. Cero miedo. So, but the tag team division's about stacked enough, and Eddie Kingston, that's another person I'd rather see do it in singles, rather than in a managerial role. I kind of want to see him in that picture, kind of enriching the storylines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had a singles match on Dark, but him also doing the manager thing, I'm not really feeling it. So
yeah,
as for the Jurassic Express, like kind of let them do their thing and put them against the many tag teams that AEW already has.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm with you guys on that. I feel like Eddie Kingston, I don't know, like it doesn't fit with those with his two tag teams. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's really weird. Like, you have two different personas of these tag teams, and you're involving this New Yorker guy. New Yorker, like, well, no due respect to the East Coast. I'm saying, like, you're involving him, and like, wait a minute, this does not make any sense to me. Like, he should be on his own, or he should have been like how he was with Santana Ortiz when in Impact. Join the Inner Circle, be the mouthpiece. Which he shouldn't be the mouthpiece because Jericho is the mouthpiece for Inner Circle. But I don't know. It's hard where to put Eddie Kingston. Where should he belong? Like, it's
just keep him as a singles.
Yeah,
I like him. Yeah. I like him by himself.
Yeah, if he's with a single, then yeah, I'll live with that. I don't mind. I have no issue with that. But let's go ahead and move on forward with that. Let's move on and forward with. We saw, obviously, there's coming a tease, man. It's coming there. Looks like the Young Bucks as well. After they super kick, Mark Alvarez, they super kicked him. We saw that, segment. It looks like they're gonna go heel the Elite. I think they might all go heel here. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think we have Kenny already teasing? Now we got the Young Bucks now too as well. I mean, do you see the Elite going heel, Mr. Hero?
Yeah, there's certainly hints about it, and my question is, because we all know that they're executive producers or they have a high rank up there,
right.
In the company. Would there be like an authority sort of angle here with the Elite? Everybody knowing that the amount of power that they have in the decision making, but. These guys, I don't know. I just I kind of got used to seeing them as faces, but hopefully, because in the tag team division, there's a lot of heel tag teams already from what I've seen, and I would have wanted to keep them as face, but hey, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Mr. Steamboat, do you see that, or do you see it happening? The Elite going heel again, Bullet Club style?
I wouldn't see the entire thing though. That's kind of why I'm kind of glad they're breaking it up, because so many of them, and of course, Young Bucks are always going to be a tag team, because that's the way they're packaged and everything like that. But as for like, there's so many great singles in there, you could do so many different things with Cody's just off on his own doing his storyline with his own faction. Kenny and Hangman, you know, like I said earlier, I want to see them doing more single stuff. So, you know, I wouldn't say completely heel, not all of them. So just like keep them separate and let them do their things. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And now let's go to move on with finally the debut we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for a long time. No more fuck Rusev Day. It's a Miro Day. Miro Day. Miro Day. Miro Day. Miro Day. And finally, the best man for Kip Sabian is Miro. Miro came in and debuted. He did it like Stan, though. I mean, Mike, you got my message on that, right? That botch. Kudos to Botch, you know, Botch Club on Instagram. They do great botches. I love them very much. You know, putting the Stan song for him and them. Sorry, Miro. We love you, but why you going blonde on this, man? You shouldn't have gone blonde on this. Should have been regular Miro how you are, brother. But I loved it. Miro finally joining All Elite Wrestling. And obviously he gave his, 10 years being stuck at home in the glass. And just to reach for that brass ring. Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass. Wow. When he said that, I was like, woo, it gave me goosebumps. I'm like, congratulations, Miro. You finally stepped up and put your balls in between your legs and told Vince McMahon, fuck you for not taking a chance on me. And I'm with you 100%, brother, because I am a big fan of you, your work. You're a great heavyweight, and I love it. So, Mr. Hero, I want to ask you your thoughts about the debut of Mr. Miro, and where do you see this going for his future in AEW?
The sky is the limit. And, man, I can only wonder and I can only imagine how many people in the current WWE roster have that same thought, have that same that desire to say, here's your brass ring, shove it up your ass. Man, woo-wee.
I loved it.
I felt everything he said in that promo, and I am so glad that he got the opportunity to say it, and that nickname, the best man, that is a cool nickname, and I wish I would have thought of something like that, the best man. That's pretty cool. He still has a career ahead of him. I feel he's not old by any means. He is still able to go in the ring, and he has the fans behind him, and he's always had momentum, as a heel or a face. And for whatever reason, the WWE did not back up or capitalize on the whole Rusev Day thing. I remember going to when the whole Rusev Day thing was hot. I remember going to Staples Center and actually looking for a Rusev Day shirt because I was there to buy one, and I literally went around the entire arena. Not one single shirt was available for purchase. So, and it kind of just goes to show that sometimes they just do not believe in certain people. Yeah. According to some other podcast, I heard that Vince kind of thought that the fans were saying it in order to mock him. And honestly, I never really got that sense from that, I don't know where he got that from, but yeah, I really hope that he does really well in AEW, as I'm pretty sure he will be. And who knows, it's not outrageous to say that he could be an AEW champion down the line. So,
ooh, I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from the Great American Hero. You heard it right here first. Mr. Steamboat, what are your thoughts about Miro's debut and his brass ring to show up the ass? And where do you see his future?
On an episode of Being the Elite, Cody kind of poked fun at the brass ring, so it's kind of cool seeing like more people kind of bring up that reference. In addition to that, I can only imagine how many great singles matches we're gonna get out of Miro, like Miro versus Kenny, Miro versus Hangman, Miro versus Cody, and just so list goes on, and I'm pretty excited to see all the matchups with them, and I hope they keep him as a single. That's the main thing, because he has like such a cool move set. Like we don't have Samoa Joe, but we got Miro. And those kicks, like, you know, those roundhouse kicks and those sambo moves, ooh, very, very excited. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited to see Miro in the ring. I cannot wait. And congratulations, Miro, for you signing with AEW. You bullshitted us and like, no, I'm gonna be a future gamer. Great job. You pulled it off very well. Kudos to you, my friend. You pulled it off to pull the whole world. And even though I seen the fans' reaction, I was like, whoa, like, and me too. I was like, yes. I was like, but why the blonde, man? Get rid of the blonde. Go back to black hair, bro. Like, you're not Stan. You're not Eminem, bro. You're not. Dear Vince, like, don't pull that off, all right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, I want to go ahead and move on to the main event, which was Brody Lee versus Dustin Rhodes for the TNT Championship. I'm going to give my thoughts first, gentlemen. What a great match, to be honest. Even though it was cut short, I felt that match could have been longer. I like how both of them looked in the ring. Very, very powerful on both sides, especially with Dustin, man. Like, round of applause. Dustin, for his age, still got it. Dustin, you have it, brother. And you're making your daddy proud. I'm telling you that right now. You're making your father proud. You're doing a great fucking job. And seeing you in the ring, the performance you gave against Brody Lee, fucking phenomenal. I loved it. That was a great main event. And I'm pretty sure Cody's proud of you too. And I'm pretty sure Brody Lee was proud of that match as well. Cheers to you guys. Great fucking match. Even though Brody Lee won. But it could have been longer, and it would have been more of an insane match. It was very intense. So I'll ask you, Mr. Steamboat, what were your thoughts about the main event?
it's you know, it's getting to see the full potential of Dustin as like a main event babyface. You know, I want to see him in the world title picture just soon. Not like some people have talked about him holding the world title. I think he'd be great for like building. Like, he's great for building new stars, and, you know, it kind of tugged at my heartstrings at All Out when he said, it's been so long since I've challenged for gold. And I'm like, ooh, that
reference, right?
The emotion.
Just that reference gold. I'm like,
it tugged at my heart just because he said, it's been a long time since I've challenged for titles. And, like, you know, I'm seeing more of like something that like touches my heart with him. So, you know, yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Hero, what were your thoughts about the main event?
Yeah, definitely, man. Both guys deserve a pat in the back because, you know, they brought it. And yeah, you know, Brody Lee won, and I'm actually glad that Brody Lee won because honestly I was a little disappointed that the Dork Order, whatever, lost at All Out. I felt that they had momentum going into All Out, and I actually thought that them winning was the right way to go, but they didn't, and it's okay because we got this match. And man, for Dustin to be able to put on a match of this caliber for, you know, after so many years, I remember, if I'm not mistaken, in his first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 12. That, you know, was such a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
Very, very long time ago. And yeah, so much deserved applause to them. And you know, Brody Lee goes on to, you know, to other things. And again, I'm glad that Brody won. Kind of gives the, you know, the Dark Order more wins and stuff. And now Cody's off to do the Big Show. What is it? What was it called?
He's doing the big. I think it's a big.
Not the Big Show.
Something like that. Somewhere on
It's a show with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg and somebody else, a few other people.
There's Snoop Dogg and there's two other female artists.
Right, yeah. And so Cody's gonna be out for a little bit. You know, so definitely I think having Brody with the title is the good call right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You guys, we should give Snoop Dogg a call. We should be his house is like less than 10 miles away from me. So let's knock on the door and see if Cody's there.
No.
Let's knock on Snoop Dogg's door and see if Cody's like in there somewhere. Is Cody home?
No,
you pick up some stuff from the Korean market across the street from your house, Snoop.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this tops it off for our episode 19. We appreciate all your support and the love that you have given us. Thank you so much. I cannot wait for episode 2020, where we will discuss about more going around in pro wrestling world. And actually, I do have our first debater, or not, I'm sorry, our first, viewer that asked me this question that I should ask everybody, and that is our beloved homegirl from the United Kingdom, that is Catherine. We did have a debate about, since, we both brought it up, AEW signing all these talents, why are they not using them as much? So we'll bring that topic up next week. We'll bring it up when we have everybody here together, and that's a debate that we're all going to have. So stay tuned. Thank you very much, Catherine. Don't forget to subscribe to her website and her social media platform. We'll put it right below the description. And also we will put our social media platform and description as well. In the description as well. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. And pretty soon, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the works, and we will have a website for you guys to have, which will give our reviews, our thoughts. And yes, we're not a bust Dave Meltzer. We're just going to give you, this is what's supposedly going to happen, and we're going to give you how we feel about it, just in case. But we're just, just keep an eye on soon. We'll give you that, more details once the website is up, circledebate.com. Well, it's up and running, but there's more content to come into you guys very soon. And also want to go ahead and thank Brass Monkey for another supporting the podcast as well. And I want to go ahead and actually appreciate Scala. That's another one that actually just messaged me earlier. Hey, good shit. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody for the love and support. So once again, gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Don't forget, this Sunday we will be having our top 5 of the week for week 19, which is the top 5 best finishers of all time. That'll be from past and present, whatever we feel about. And then the following, which will be the week 20, which is, I think it should get these two gentlemen to think. I mean, not with Mr. Hero, but yeah. Okay, so the top 5 will be, the next one for week 20 will be your top 5 greatest world champion of all time. Doesn't matter what organization. Doesn't have to be WWE. Could be from the past. World champion. From the past or present. Your top 5 greatest world champion. Okay? Doesn't matter what organization could be. WWE, AEW, ROH, Ring of Honor, New Japan, XPW, ECW, anything. Your top 5. So stay tuned for that on week 20 for that top 5 of the week. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're saying to you guys. Salute. This is the Devious One I can see, alongside with the Beaters, all Beaters, and the Cordonas, and now the Seidels, the botch Seidels, those Seidels botches, the Riddles. Oh shit, I forgot about the Riddles, the Hardys, the Crocs, and the Briscoes and the Keller and the Kellerman.
Briscoes. There's a Matt Briscoe. Okay.
And the Max Kellerman of all Kellermans.
Oh, you're player hating.
There you go. You see, and obviously we have the I am a real American, fighting for life for everything.
Every man.
Every man, I guess whatever, but I think everything. There you go. Fight for your right. That's the great American hero saying, you, giving you the saying,
Hulk up.
the Hulk up, and drink your milk, and drink your beers too. But the great American hero, Mike Lopez, we're sending you guys salutes. Buenas noches, good night, everybody, and we'll see you on Sunday and next Friday.